morning, good afternoon, depending on what time you're seeing this video. First time that we're doing something like this, so this is something very new for me, and I think let me start by saying that Ashish, a fantastic initiative on your part to invite us to present at least 2-3 minutes in this session. It's also from an initiative point of view. I think it's great that you guys are coming together, a new team, many things to talk about. I'm sure quite a few agenda points. So I'm sure you guys will have very good 2 days. Ashish gave all of us a brief on what we should talk about, essentially revolving around what are we doing in the regions, what are the priorities, and how can you guys as KC contribute to it. So here's the update from the north. To start with, what's happening, it's incredibly hot. I don't know how many of you guys have been reading about the heat wave that we are experiencing right now, but I haven't felt this kind of heat in the last 3 years that I've been here, so it's phenomenal. Here's for those who don't follow, 5 p.m. and 46 degrees and probably rising. So it's crazy. On the work front, what are we working towards? I think also from a timing point of view, this is very good because only last week we had a sort of a small regional sales meeting. We had called in all the guys from the hinterland, plus we of course had the Delhi Gurgaon team with us, and we spoke about what are the things that we are working on. So really, this is a quick snippet of or a summary, if you may call, of those discussions. I have a few notes, so I'm just going to go through those. First and foremost, I think it's very important for all of us to acknowledge that KC plays a huge part in the north, not just in terms of the numbers, but many of the metrics that we are measured on. Purely from a number point of view, I think be it Reliance, be it Walmart, be it the consumer guys, LG, Samsung, or be it our favorite global freight forwarders, I think the contribution purely from a number perspective is huge. Together, KC contributes to close to 25 to 28% of the North India volumes. So we have a huge dependence on how you guys are performing and how you guys are delivering. It's been a great year so far, so thank you very much for that, and I'm sure that we'll see probably better months coming. So talking about the regional priorities, I think I'd like to say that here is, let's say, our game plan for the next 3 to 6 months. So first priority, and we've classified this a little bit into the burning platform and a little bit on the business side. So burning platform, clearly, in line with, I think, what we've been speaking about through the MWBs, and also it's true for most of the regions. The big one for us is DND. On DND as a region, we are only 65%, thankfully climbing. The month of May, the current month, should actually be very good for us. But nonetheless, it's a huge catch-up that we have to do. We have a target of 17 million, so that's a little over 1 million here or there every month that we have to collect, and we've been actually trailing. Here, I would think that a fair amount of contribution can come through from the KC team. Most of our DND deals are pretty much part of the tender, and that's something that we completely recognize and acknowledge, that many of those tenders or deals are probably something that we cannot go into or cannot break open. But just food for thought in terms of, maybe there are a few accounts, maybe GFFs. I was speaking to Amey the other day, and he said that on certain corridors on LG which are negotiated locally, he's able to negotiate a bit of a differential deal on free time. So if there's anything together that we can do, if you need some data in terms of what is the difference between free time, turn time, with the objective really of reducing the free time from current 14 days, 21 days, to even if it is 13 days and 12 days. So let's give that a shot. So the burning platform number 1 is DND. The second one is IQ, and I think here, while we've been steadily climbing, and we are actually quite confident of being at 100% by the time we close the year, there is again a huge amount of contribution that the KCs can do. Over the last say month and a half, in fact the KC team based in Gurgaon, Dipin, Pranab, Ameya, have actually all three been very instrumental in bringing the numbers up. They've done that collectively with us in the regions, customer service and operations put together by actually addressing the root cause for some of the IQs. I can name 2-3 examples, Gap being one, Samsung, a structural fix that we are trying to put in place. And then, of course, a little bit of a more transactional but still doable is the great global freight forwarders, Kuehne+Nagel in particular, where Pranab actually managed to do a small fix there. Clear results coming in through the month of May, where our IQ actually is looking fairly healthy. So good job, and I think there's a lot more that we can do to improve the IQ for the region. And the third big point or contribution, and in terms of the regional priority, is how do we play the slack. Yes, Prithvi sent us a message last week saying, is Slack the new peak? Well, let's just hope, fingers crossed, that it continues to be as strong as it is. But if it is not, I think that's the game plan that we need to be actually prepared for. Here, I mean, more than, let's say, the tendered accounts, I think it is the global freight forwarders that will play a key role in actually determining whether as a region we deliver ROFO or actually we exceed on core trades. In our discussions with the other location managers plus customer service and operations through last week, we have actually done a fair amount of analysis on what are our key requirements, what are the enablers that we need. So if we have the model ship, 230%, equipment, space, and of course pricing from T&M are the three standard enablers. But through those 2 days, we've been able to put numbers to it. So something that I'll share with you guys, just compiling the notes from last week, so I'll send it across to everyone. But here is where I think what we could do as a next step is assign, maybe even break down those numbers and assign that how much then can GFFs deliver over and above their ROFO as an aspirational target. So looking forward to how we play the slack. So just to summarize, guys, 3 key priorities, 2 of them from the burning platform, D&D and IQ, and third really is how do we play the slack. There are a few other points and a little bit more generic that I'd like to also take this opportunity to talk to you guys about. And that is where I think a fair amount of contribution can again come from the KC team. First is, you guys, at least 3 of you are sitting in Delhi, sitting in Gurgaon, and few of you are not, but still have a fair amount of influence and fair amount of dependability on the cross-functional team. I think we've been working very well. We've had some very good examples of how teamwork together has allowed us to actually exceed expectations for certain customers, but also on the downside, we have had challenges where we have not been able to deliver, and that has resulted in a fair amount of acrimony with the customers. My request, guys, we need to more and more work as one team. We need to come together, understand the complexity and also the challenges that we face in our functions, and see what we can do to best make sure that we have as less service failures as possible. But at the end of the day, let's also accept the fact that there will be a few places where we'll not be able to deliver, and that's where as frontline people we come into the play, where it's very important that we manage those expectations. So my request, guys, let's look at it as one team. Let's work together to make sure that from a customer felt experience, we are actually top notch. The second one, and where I do seek your help, is also to help us to do a certain trade-offs every now and then. I know the impact of certain big customers is a lot bigger from a global perspective, but I think we need to have a little bit of patience when it comes to certain hardware related things, equipment, space, for example, because as much as we would like to predict how the season moves, we've seen that over the last 6 months nothing has been as per predictions. So just a small request from my side, let's share the numbers, let's share forecasts as clearly, as accurately, and as much in advance as possible. And for weeks that we are not able to actually come exactly to where the forecasts are or what the expectations are, my request is, let's again, talking about point number one as one team, let's have a little bit of patience and give our teams that support that we need in order to make sure that the enablers are in place. Yeah, so that's my expectation from the team and how collectively we can deliver. There's one final point, and here is where I'd like to offer you my help. What can I do to help you in your day-to-day jobs? What can I do to make sure that I'm aligned with your objectives, with your team objectives? What can I do to maybe share some best practices, few things that maybe across the team we're doing well? How can I share those with you? So please reach out to me, and I'm sure I can give you an example, let's say of the pipeline, opportunity pipeline or SFDC updates. The team so far has been in the north fairly diligent. They slot in a certain time in the month and then they lock themselves in the room and so on and so forth. So places where you feel you're struggling, reach out to either a Nitin or a Nikhil or even me, and then let's try and help each other on that. So please do reach out on places where you think I can help you. So that was on the on how I can help you. Other than that, also my request on behalf of my other colleagues Deepak and Jai Bhaskar is also that there are many things that in their functions they are trying to piece it together. So also reach out to them on what your expectations are to make sure that we are all at the end of the day aligned and running in the same direction. So that was my 5-10 minute talk about what we could do, and thank you Ashish for giving me this opportunity. And guys, 2 days, make the most of it and have a great time.